beloved soul, welcome. Today, I bring a message from heaven itself, a story of faith, patience, and love that will touch your heart. If you have ever carried scars from past disappointments, if you have prayed and wondered if your prayers are heard, this message is for you. Stay with me, for what you are about to hear is not just a story, it is a divine guidance, a whisper from the angels, and a reminder that heaven has not forgotten you. Before we begin, take a deep breath, let your heart open, and if you are ready to receive hope and encouragement, subscribe to Angelic Whispers of Hope. Comment the word promise below. As we journey together into this sacred store, beloved soul, I come to you in the quiet of your heart. I come to speak peace where there has been sorrow, and to remind you of the love that has never left you. I see the scars you carry. I see the places inside you that ache when you remember promises that were broken, when you remember the love you gave and did not receive in return. You wonder if you will always be left behind, if love is only for others but not for you. But I tell you now, your story is not finished. The one who made you has written every page with care, and the tears you have cried, each one has been seen, each one has been gathered, and none has been wasted. God is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Psalm 34-18. I know how long you have waited. I know how heavy your waiting feels when you wake in the morning and hope feels thin. I know the nights when silence fills the room and you wonder if you prayed in vain. But I assure you, no prayer is ever wasted when spoken in faith. The Father hears even the whispers you thought no one noticed. This man you heard about, the one who sat by the window with his scars, he is not far from you. His story is also your story. For every soul who waits with faith is tied together in God's promise. When he prayed, he did not pray for riches. He did not pray for beauty or fleeting desires. He prayed, Father, I do not want to chase after what is not meant for me. If it is in your plan, lead me to the one who will walk with me in truth and in faith. And heaven leaned close when he spoke. For this prayer is holy. This prayer is pure. This prayer is the kind that moves mountains unseen, I tell you. Beloved, the heavens rejoice when you choose not to chase what is false, but instead wait for what is real. Delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Psalm 37:4. Yes, I know the waiting hurts. Yes, I know the disappointments that feel like wounds. But waiting with faith is never empty. It shapes you, molds you, and prepares you for what is greater than you have imagined. You see, true love is not something you lose in the hands of man. It is given, appointed, woven into your path by the Father who knows every breath you take. What he joins, no man can tear apart. What he ordains, no force can destroy. So breathe, child of light. Breathe deeply, for your season of mourning is not forever. Your soul has been sowing in tears, but you will reap in joy. He who goes out weeping, carrying seed to sow, will return with songs of joy, carrying sheaves with him. Psalm 126:6. I want you to write this word in the comments, so your spirit remembers it. Promise. For the promises of God stand firm, even when all else fails. And before I carry you deeper into this story, I ask you, subscribe to Angelic Whispers of Hope, for here, you will always find messages that remind you of heaven's voice. words to carry you through the dark, and light to guide you home. Subscribe, beloved, so that every whisper of heaven finds you when you need it most. Now, let us walk further. Let us walk deeper into the story of the scarred man's prayer and the love that was written before he was even born. Beloved soul, listen closely. The man who prayed with his scars was not asking from despair. He was asking from surrender. And surrender is the place where heaven's blessings are born. He had seen people promise love but leave emptiness. He had carried betrayal like stones pressed against his chest. He had known what it meant to give everything and still feel invisible. And yet, he chose not to close his heart. He chose not to become bitter. He chose to lift his pain to the Father and whisper, "Your will, not mine." And in that whisper, heaven smiled. Because when a broken soul still chooses faith, all of creation pauses to honor that courage. Do you know why? Because faith is not proven when everything is easy. Faith is proven in the valley, when your heart is trembling, when the answer seems far away. It is in those moments that your soul's trust becomes a light brighter than any flame. Though my flesh and my heart may fail, God is the strength of my heart and my portion forever. Psalm 73, 2-6. So I ask you, beloved, are you still holding on to your scars? Or are you willing to lift them to God and trust His timing? Your wounds are real, I know. Your tears are real, I see them. But they are not the end of your story. They are simply the soil where your faith will bloom. I want you to write the word faith in the comments right now. For when you declare it, you are planting a seed. And what is spoken in faith cannot remain barren. It will grow, even if slowly, into something beautiful. Now here, me love, is not something you must chase like the wind. Love that comes from the Father is not hidden. It is revealed in the right time, with the right heart, for the right purpose. And when it comes, it does not confuse you. It does not leave you empty. It does not play games with your worth. No, beloved. When love is sent by heaven, it will feel like peace. It will feel like alignment. It will feel like home. The scarred man by the window did not know when his prayer would be answered. Some mornings his hope was strong, and some mornings it was thin. But every morning he still prayed. Every morning he still whispered, "Father, not what I desire, but what you desire." And in that prayer he became stronger than he realized. For prayer is not only about receiving, it is about becoming. Every prayer you whisper shapes you, molds you, and lifts you higher. Even when you do not see change outside of you, change is happening inside of you. I want you to remember this: the prayers you pray in secret are not forgotten. They rise like incense before the throne. They are stored like treasures in heaven's chambers, and in the right time, they will return to you as answered blessings. Ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and the door will be opened to you. Matthew 7:7. So ask, beloved, seek, knock. Do not let the silence make you believe heaven is deaf. Heaven is listening. Heaven is preparing. Heaven is aligning the very details you cannot yet see. I feel your doubt sometimes. You wonder, but why is it taking so long? And I say to you, because the Father loves you too much to give you something half-formed, something shallow, something that will wound you again. He is not making you wait to punish you. He is making you wait so that the blessing, when it comes, will be whole. It will be right. It will be lasting. I ask you now to write another word in the comments. Patience, because patience is not weakness. Patience is strength wrapped in humility. Patience is the anchor that keeps you steady when the winds of loneliness try to break you, beloved. Do not mistake loneliness for abandonment. You are never abandoned. Even in your quietest nights, angels surround you. Even in your most fragile moments, heaven is closer than your breath. If you could see the way the Father looks at you, you would never again question your worth. You would never again settle for love that only takes but does not give. You would never again lower your heart for someone who cannot honor it. Fear not, for I have redeemed you. I have called you by name. You are mine. Isaiah 43:1. You belong to Him. You are seen by Him. You are loved by Him. And because of that, what is meant for you cannot pass you by. Before I carry you deeper, I must remind you, again subscribe to Angelic Whispers of Hope, for each time you return here, you will be reminded of heaven's voice. You will hear words that strengthen your faith when the world tries to silence it. Subscribe now, beloved, and let this channel be a place where your soul is always fed with hope. Now let us continue walking through the scarred man's prayer, and let us uncover the hidden strength that was growing in him all along. Beloved soul, the man by the window had one treasure that could not be taken from him: his hope. It was not hope in people, for people had failed him. It was not hope in himself, for he had known weakness and doubt. No, his hope was rooted in the Eternal One, the Father who never breaks a promise. And this hope kept him alive. It gave him the courage to rise each morning, even when yesterday's pain still lingered. It gave him the courage to pray, even when answers seemed far away. It gave him the courage to believe that somewhere, written in heaven's design, was a love meant for him. Do you not feel the same inside you? That quiet tug, that whisper, telling you that your heart was not made to be left empty, that your scars were not given so that you would remain broken, but so that you would be healed with a love that is whole. Hope deferred makes the heart sick, but a desire fulfilled is a tree of life. Proverbs 13:12. Yes, waiting is heavy. Yes, it sometimes feels like your prayers float into the air and vanish. But beloved, they do not vanish. They are planted, and like seeds hidden in the soil, they wait for the right season to bloom. Think of this. A seed does not complain while it is buried. It rests unseen until the sun warms it and the rain waters it, and then suddenly it breaks open and grows. So too will your prayers break open in due time. So too will your waiting give birth to life. I want you to write this word in the comments. Bloom. Yes, write it. For you are in a season where you may feel buried, but heaven is preparing your bloom. Your roots are deepening. Your faith is strengthening, and soon what was hidden will rise. The scarred man did not yet know it, but his prayer was already being answered. Each morning that he prayed, the Father was moving pieces into place. Each tear that fell was watering the soil of his destiny. Each sigh he released became a whisper heaven recorded. This is also true for you, beloved. You may not see the movements yet, but heaven is aligning. You may not feel the changes yet, but heaven is working. Do not let the silence fool. Your story is still being written. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for Him. Psalm 37:7. And while you wait, I say this: do not despise the season of becoming, for in your waiting, you are being shaped into the person who can carry the love you are asking for. You cannot receive what is great if your soul is not ready. You cannot hold a blessing if your hands are still clinging to what has already hurt you. So, release. Release the names that promised forever but did not stay. Release the shame that whispers you were not enough. Release the bitterness that keeps your heart locked. Release, beloved, and make room for what is coming. The scarred man released every day. He released disappointment. He released betrayal. He released the fear that no one would see his worth. And in that release, he found freedom. And in that freedom, he found faith. I want you to comment this word now. Release. Yes, write it boldly, for when you declare it, you are telling heaven that you are ready for something new. You are telling your soul that you will not carry what is too heavy anymore. You are telling your future that it has room to arrive. Beloved, love is not only about someone walking into your life. Love is also about learning to see yourself as heaven sees you. Do you not know how precious you are? Do you not realize how carefully you were made? You are not an accident. You are not overlooked. You are not abandoned. For we are God's workmanship, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do. Ephesians 2:10. You were designed with intention. Every detail of you was chosen. Every strength you carry, every scar you hold, every lesson you've learned is all part of your becoming. And the one who is meant to walk beside you will not shrink away from your scars. They will see your scars as proof of your strength. They will see your tears as proof of your faith. They will honor you because heaven will have shaped them to do so. Before we continue, beloved, I must remind you, again subscribe to Angelic Whispers of Hope. Let this channel be a sanctuary for your spirit, a place where heaven's words reach you when the world feels heavy. Subscribe now and return often. For every message here is prepared to remind you that you are never alone. Now, let us walk deeper into the moment where the scarred man's prayer began to change not only his story, but the way he saw love itself. Beloved, listen closely. For now, I will tell you what was unseen in the scarred man's story. While he prayed by his window, while he whispered in faith, while he released his sorrow each morning, something beautiful was already unfolding. For in another place, unseen to him, a heart was also praying. A woman, weary from her own disappointments, was whispering her prayers into the night. She too was asking, Father, lead me not to what is false, but to what is real. Do you see the beauty of this? Two souls, separated by distance, joined by prayer. Two voices, rising in different rooms, but reaching the same heaven. And heaven was weaving them together, though they did not yet know each other's names. This is what I want you to understand. Your prayers are never alone. Your longing is never one-sided. Even now, heaven may be preparing someone who is praying for you as you pray for them. Even now, your journey may already be tied to another's destiny. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah 29:11. Do you feel that, beloved? Your story is not random. Your scars are not wasted. Your waiting is not empty. It is all part of a divine weaving. Threads drawn together by hands that never make mistakes. The scarred man thought he was simply surviving his heartbreak, but heaven was shaping him into a protector, a man of faith, a man of depth who could carry the love he was destined to receive. And the woman who prayed was being shaped into one who could walk beside him with truth, not with betrayal. Both of them were being prepared not only to receive love, but to guard it, nurture it, and honor it. Beloved, you too are being shaped. Do not despise the season of shaping. Do not curse the waiting, for while you wait, heaven is working on you, and heaven is working on the one who will meet you. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. James 1-4. This is not about punishment. It is about preparation, because what heaven gives is always worth the wait. Now, I ask you to comment this word, prepare. Yes, write it boldly, for when you declare it, you are agreeing with heaven's process. You are saying, "Shape me, Lord. I am willing to wait for what is true. I am willing to grow until the right time comes." Do not fear that you will miss what is meant for you. Do not fear that time will pass you by. What is written for you cannot be stolen, cannot be erased, cannot be lost. The Father who wrote your days before you lived them is faithful. He does not forget his children. He does not abandon his promises. Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? Isaiah 43-19. Beloved, something new is already rising. Even if you cannot see it yet, even if your heart still feels tired, trust this. Heaven is moving. Heaven is aligning. And when the moment comes, it will not feel rushed. It will not feel confusing. It will not feel heavy. It will feel like peace. It will feel like home. It will feel like the prayer you whispered has finally returned to you as an answered promise. The scarred man, day by day, was learning this truth. At first, he thought love would heal him, but slowly he realized which God's love that was healing him first. And from that healing, he would be able to love and be loved without fear. This is the same truth for you, beloved. No person can heal what only God can heal. No soulmate can fix what only heaven can restore. But when you are healed in God's love, then love with another becomes pure, steady, and eternal. I want you to pause here and let this sink in. You are not waiting for someone to complete you. You are already whole. You are not waiting for someone to fix you. You are already being restored. You are not waiting for someone to prove your worth. You are already worthy, for you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Psalm 139-14. Yes, beloved, wonderfully made. Your scars do not make you less, they make you strong. Your waiting does not make you weak, it makes you ready. And the one who is meant for you will not run from your scars. They will honor them as part of your beauty. Before we move to the next step of this story, I remind you again, subscribe to Angelic Whispers of Hope. Here, you will not only find words of comfort, but also the strength to keep walking when the road feels heavy. Subscribe, beloved, and let each message be a reminder that heaven still speaks to you. Now, let us move forward into the part of the scarred man's journey where heaven began to reveal the first signs of the promise he had been waiting for. Beloved, you have walked with me through the man's scars, through his prayer, through his waiting, through his shaping. Now I will tell you of the moment when heaven's promise began to unfold. It did not come with a trumpet sound. It did not arrive with lightning in the sky. It came in quietness, as many miracles do. One morning, as the man sat by his window once again, whispering his familiar prayer, his heart felt different. The words left his lips the same as before, but within him there was a stillness, a peace he could not explain. For the first time, his prayer no longer felt like longing, it felt like trust. And in that trust, the weight he had carried for years began to lift. Those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. Isaiah 42:31. That day, something shifted. He did not yet see her face, but he knew. He knew heaven had heard him. He knew heaven had not forgotten him. And with that assurance, he began to live differently. Beloved, this is where your story meets his. For when you release fear, when you surrender the timeline, when you choose trust over desperation, you open the door for heaven's plan to enter. And soon after, their paths crossed, not by accident, not by coincidence, but by design. She, the one who had prayed in her own room, appeared in his life at the exact moment heaven appointed. And when they spoke, when they shared their hearts, they realized their prayers had been rising together all along. Therefore, what God has joined together, let no one separate. Mark 10:9. They had both been scarred. They had both been disappointed. They had both carried sorrow. But their scars became testimony. Their disappointments became wisdom. Their sorrow became the soil where compassion grew. And in each other they found not perfection, but a love rooted in faith, in patience, in truth. Beloved, this is what heaven is preparing for you, not a flawless love, but a faithful one. Not a fleeting promise, but a lasting covenant. Not someone who runs from storms, but someone who will pray with you through them. I ask you now to comment this word, promise kept. Yes, write it boldly, because what God has spoken over your life, He will fulfill. Because what you have whispered through tears will return to you in joy. Because the same God who wrote the scarred man's story is also writing yours. Do not think your scars disqualify you, they qualify you. Do not think your waiting is wasted, is sacred. Do not think your tears go unseen, they are gathered. And when the time is right, you too will look back and see how every moment, even the painful ones, led you here. Those who sow with tears will reap with songs of joy. Psalm 126:5. So hold on, beloved. Keep praying, keep hoping, keep releasing, keep preparing. For the promise is not lost, is only waiting for its appointed time. Now I turn to you, who are listening to these words. You are not forgotten. You are not behind. You are not unseen. Heaven is closer than you think. The Father's love surrounds you even now, filling the cracks of your heart, reminding you that you are worth waiting for, worth loving, worth choosing. I want you to carry this final word with you, fulfilled. Comment it below as your declaration. For the prayers you have carried, the scars you have survived, the faith you have held, they will be fulfilled, not in your time, but in the perfect time of heaven. And before I leave you, I remind you once more, subscribe to Angelic Whispers of Hope. Subscribe so that your spirit always has a place to return when the world feels heavy. Subscribe and let these angelic whispers continue to strengthen your journey, to lift your faith, to remind you that heaven's promises are true. Beloved soul, the scarred man's prayer was answered, and so will yours be. For the one who wrote Proverbs 19:14 has not changed. Houses and wealth are inherited from parents, but a prudent wife is from the Lord. Trust him, wait on him, and let your heart rest in the assurance that your story, too, is already written in love, beloved. Though the scarred man's prayer was answered, his journey did not end with meeting the one who had also prayed. For love is not only about the finding, it is about the keeping. It is about walking day by day in faith, in patience, in forgiveness, in grace. You see, heaven does not simply give you a promise and then leave you to figure it out. No, heaven stays with you. Heaven teaches you how to protect the very blessing you once wept for. Heaven whispers guidance when the road feels heavy and the world tries to distract your heart. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Proverbs 4:23. The scarred man and the woman who prayed both had to learn this. They had to guard their love with prayer. They had to protect their union from fear. They had to remember that the same God who brought them together must also be the one who keeps them together. And so it is with you, beloved. When your prayer is fulfilled, do not stop praying. When your promise arrives, do not stop trusting. When your blessing is revealed, do not forget the one who gave it. For true love is not sustained by human strength, it is sustained by divine grace. And grace flows freely when you keep heaven at the center. I ask you now to comment this phrase, grace sustains. Write it as your declaration, so you never forget that what begins with God must remain with God, beloved. I must tell you this as well. Do not compare your journey to another's. Do not look at those who seem to find love quickly and think you are less. Do not measure your life by the timelines of others. Your path is holy, your timing is divine, and what heaven writes for you cannot be copied, cannot be rushed, cannot be stolen. For everything there is a season, and a time for every purpose under heaven. Ecclesiastes 3:1. Yes, there is a time for your healing. Yes, there is a time for your preparation. And yes, beloved, there is a time for your love to be revealed. Do not doubt this. Do not rush this. Trust it. Remember how the man by the window prayed each morning, not knowing that his prayer was already colliding with another's. So it is with you. Even now, your prayers are at work, weaving with another's prayers, rising together into heaven's plan. And in the right season, that weaving will be revealed. This is why you must not give up in the waiting. This is why you must not close your heart in bitterness, because the story is still being written. Beloved, let me tell you a secret. The scars you carry will not push away what is meant for you, they will draw the right one closer. For the one heaven prepares for you will not see your scars as weakness, but as proof of survival. They will not see your tears as shame, but as rivers that watered your faith. They will not see your waiting as wasted, but as the very ground where patience grew. And when they look at you, they will see not only who you are, but who you became through faith. They will honor the God who carried you, and together you will walk, not in fear, but in faith. Two are better than one, because they have a good return for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up. Ecclesiastes 4:9-10. Beloved, this is the kind of love heaven has for you, not a shallow companionship, but a partnership rooted in truth. not a fleeting romance, but a covenant that endures, not a fragile bond, but a union built on prayer. I want you now to declare this in the comments. Covenant love. Yes, write it boldly, because this is what heaven desires for you. Not something broken, not something false, but a covenant sealed by faith and sustained by grace. And as you write it, let your heart believe that you are worthy of it. Let your spirit hold on to the promise that heaven does not withhold what is good from those who walk with faith. For the Lord God is a sun and shield. The Lord bestows favor and honor. No good thing does he withhold from those whose walk is blameless. Psalm 84:11. Beloved, take this truth with you. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not unloved. You are in process. You are in preparation. And soon you will be in fulfillment. Before we walk further, I ask you once more, subscribe to Angelic Whispers of Hope. Here, your spirit will always find rest. Here, your heart will always find encouragement. Here, heaven's whispers will always remind you that you are not alone, not abandoned, not overlooked. Subscribe, beloved, and let this channel be your daily reminder of divine love. Now let us walk into the closing steps of this journey, where the scarred man and the woman who prayed discover what it means not only to receive love, but to walk in it as a living testimony of God's faithfulness. Beloved, as the scarred man and the woman who prayed began to walk together, they discovered something deeper than answered prayer. They discovered that true love is not just about the joy of meeting, it is about the journey of growing together. For there were days when fear still whispered to them. There were moments when old wounds tried to speak lies. The man would sometimes feel unworthy, remembering the times when others left him behind. The woman would sometimes feel fragile, remembering the promises that had once broken her heart. But in those moments, they remembered their prayers. They remembered how they had once sat alone and whispered to heaven. And they knew that this love was not built on their own strength. It was built on God's faithfulness. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken. Ecclesiastes 4:12. Yes, beloved, when 2 hearts join and keep God at the center, they are not bound by weakness, but by strength. For it is not only their love that holds them, it is heaven's covenant. This is what I want you to see in your own journey. Do not simply pray for love to arrive. Pray for love to endure. Do not simply pray for someone to find you. Pray for someone who will walk with you in truth, in storms and in sunlight. Do not simply pray for joy. Pray for faith that holds you steady when joy is tested, because love that is written by heaven is not shallow, it is deep. It is not fleeting, it is steadfast. It is not fragile, it is strong. And when trials come, as they always do, that love remains, because it is rooted in something greater than feelings. It is rooted in faith. Beloved, I want you to declare this phrase in the comments. Rooted in faith. Write it. Let it echo through your spirit. Let it be your prayer, because when love is rooted in faith, it cannot be torn apart. It grows stronger through every season. It becomes a testimony, not only to you, but to all who witness it. The scarred man and the woman who prayed became such a testimony. When others saw them, they did not see 2 perfect people. They saw 2 healed people. They saw scars that had been turned into strength. They saw patience that had been rewarded. They saw faith that had been fulfilled. And when they spoke of their story, they did not boast of themselves. They did not say, "Look at what we have done." They said, "Look at what God has done, not to us. Lord, not to us, but to your name be the glory, because of your love and faithfulness." Psalm 115:1. Beloved, your story too will glorify God. The love you long for, the healing you are receiving, the faith you are building, it will not only bless you, it will bless others. Your testimony will speak to those who feel forgotten. Your joy will encourage those who are still waiting. Your covenant will shine as proof that heaven keeps its promises. So do not give up. Do not stop praying. Do not silence your hope. Even now, the threads are being woven. Even now, the story is being prepared. Even now, your future is being written in love. For the vision awaits an appointed time. Though it linger, wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay. Habakkuk 2-3. Yes, beloved, it will certainly come at the right time, in the right way, with the right heart. I ask you again, as a final seed of faith, to write in the comments, heaven's timing, for that is the truth I want your heart to hold. Not your timing, not the world's timing, but heaven's timing. For when heaven moves, it is always perfect, always good, always worth the wait. Beloved soul, before I close this part of your journey, I remind you once more, subscribe to Angelic Whispers of Hope. Do not walk alone when heaven has given you a place to be reminded of divine love. Subscribe so that each time you feel weary, you will hear heaven's voice whispering to you again. Subscribe and let every message be a lantern for your path. Now let your heart rest in this. Your scars are not the end. Your prayers are not forgotten. Your waiting is not wasted. Heaven is faithful. Heaven is preparing, and heaven's timing will bring to you what has been written for you since the beginning. Beloved, now that you have walked through the scarred man's journey, through the whispers of heaven, through the waiting, the prayers, and the shaping, it is time to understand the fullness of what this story holds for you. True love, the kind that heals and sustains, begins in heaven before it ever touches the earth. It is written in the stars. It is whispered by angels. It is held by the Father, who never forgets a single tear, a single hope, a single prayer whispered in faith. And you, beloved, are not overlooked. Every scar you carry, every disappointment you have endured, every moment of longing, you are seen. You are known. You are deeply, perfectly loved. Even to your old age, I am He. Even when you turn gray, I will carry you. I have made, and I will bear. I will carry, and will save. Isaiah 46:4. Your heart is not broken beyond repair. Your dreams are not too small. Your prayers are not in vain. Even if you cannot see it, heaven is working tirelessly to prepare the blessing that your soul has been longing for, beloved. The scarred man learned this too. The one who once feared he would always be left behind discovered that waiting does not weaken faith, it strengthens it. He discovered that every tear he shed, every fear he faced, every moment he endured, all of it was part of the preparation for the love he was destined to receive. And so it is with you. Do not despair in your waiting. Do not doubt your worth. Do not allow the world to tell you that your prayers are too late, for heaven's timing is perfect. And heaven's plan for your love, for your joy, for your peace, is greater than you can imagine. I ask you now to comment this key phrase: perfect timing. Write it in the comments as your declaration of trust. When you declare it, your spirit aligns with heaven's promise. You release anxiety. You release fear. You declare that you are ready to receive what has been prepared for you since before you were born, beloved. Let me tell you a secret of heaven. Those who pray faithfully, those who release their burdens, those who hold on to faith, even when hope seems thin, they will experience love that is more than they dreamed. It will not come in haste. It will not come in confusion. It will come as peace. It will come as joy. It will come as a blessing so profound that every scar you have ever carried will feel like part of the path that led you there. And we know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. Romans 8:8. Do you see it, beloved? Even the pain, the waiting, the tears, all of it works together for your good. All of it is preparing you for the moment when your prayers are fulfilled, when your heart is met by the love it has longed for. And when that day comes, you will not only receive love, you will walk in the fullness of heaven's plan. Your heart will be whole, your spirit will soar, and your story will shine as a testimony of faith, patience, and divine guidance. Beloved, I remind you once more, subscribe to Angelic Whispers of Hope. Here, you will always find words that remind you of heaven's faithfulness. Here, your soul will always find comfort, encouragement, and light when darkness feels heavy. Subscribe and let every message serve as a lantern for your path, guiding you to trust, to hope, and to love. Now, as you meditate on this story, I leave you with this final blessing. May your heart be open to receive. May your soul be ready to walk in faith. May your waiting be filled with hope. And may the love that heaven has written for you arrive in its perfect time, sustaining, healing, and blessing you for all your days, beloved. Comment one last time with the word, blessed arrival. Yes, declare it boldly. This is the affirmation that heaven wants you to carry in your heart. Your prayers are heard. Your hope is alive. Your love is on its way. And remember, even when the world seems silent, heaven is not. Even when you feel alone, you are never truly alone. Even when waiting feels long, your promise is already written, already prepared, and already moving toward you. Beloved, you are cherished. You are guided. You are chosen. And the love that heals your heart, that honors your journey, and that fulfills your prayers is on its way to you in heaven's perfect timing. Beloved, thank you for listening with your heart. Remember, the prayers you whisper in faith are never wasted. The scars you carry are not in vain. And the love you long for is already written in heaven's perfect timing. Let your heart rest in this truth. You are cherished, you are guided, and you are chosen. Before you go, comment the word blessed arrival to declare your trust in heaven's plan for your love and your life. And do not forget to subscribe to Angelic Whispers of Hope so that every day you can hear whispers of guidance, hope, and divine encouragement. Until next time, walk in faith, hold on to hope, and trust that heaven is always with you.